have a security system around your home that you never installed, never paid for, and never even knew existed. It runs 24 hours a day. It covers every inch of your property. It detects threats before you could ever see them coming. It communicates in real time across your entire neighborhood, and it has been protecting you, your yard, your trees, your home, every single day of your life. You didn't build it. You can't turn it off. And the moment you understand how it actually works, you will never hear your yard the same way again. The cardinal on your feeder right now is part of it. The chickadee in the hedge is part of it. The blue jay screaming from the oak tree, especially that blue jay, is part of it. And what they are doing, what they have always been doing, is not random. It is documented. It is measurable. It has been studied by researchers at the University of Montana, at Cornell, and at the University of Washington for over 2 decades. They are running a warning network, and you are living inside it. Let's start before you wake up, because the system doesn't wait for you. At 5 in the morning, while most people are still asleep, your yard runs what ornithologists call the dawn chorus. Most people hear it as beautiful background sound, birds singing as the sun comes up. That is not what it is. The dawn chorus is a coordinated perimeter check. Every male bird in the area announces his location to neighbors and rivals. Every mated pair confirms the other survived the night. And every species present maps the audible terrain. Who is here, who is missing, and who is somewhere they shouldn't be. Researchers at the University of Bristol have documented that the order, timing, and intensity of the dawn chorus encodes specific information: overnight survival rates, the arrival of new individuals, and the location of any unusual disturbance that occurred in the dark. If a fox passed through your yard at 3 in the morning, the wrens know. If a raccoon climbed your fence at 4, the chickadees noticed. By the time you pour your coffee, the network has already mapped the entire night and is broadcasting an assessment of your yard's safety status in a language every bird in the neighborhood understands before a single human being opens their eyes. You wake up thinking the birds are singing. They are filing reports. Now here is the one that changes everything about how you hear a chickadee call. 3 blocks away, a Cooper's hawk drops out of the sky. You will never see it. You may not know it's in the neighborhood at all, but within seconds, your chickadee knows. And it doesn't just know. It broadcasts a specific, encoded, information-dense report about exactly what kind of threat just arrived. In a landmark 2005 study published in the journal Science, researcher Christopher Templeton and his team at the University of Montana analyzed over 5,000 recorded chickadee alarm calls. What they found rewrote what scientists thought they knew about animal communication. The acoustic features of chickadee alarm calls vary specifically with the size of the predator, and the intensity of the mobbing response is directly related to the size and threat level of what the chickadee has detected. The mechanism is the D notes at the end of the call. Smaller, more dangerous predators, the agile ones that can actually catch a chickadee, produce more D notes. Larger, slower predators produce fewer. The chickadee is not just shouting danger, it is broadcasting a structured threat report, predator type, size, and urgency level, all encoded into a call most people have heard 1,000 times and never listened to, and the network receives it. Titmice hear it and respond. Nuthatches adjust their behavior. Downy woodpeckers change position. The chickadee's call recruits not just its own species, but other birds to respond to the specific threat level it has identified. The bird you barely glance at on your feeder is the lead analyst of a multi-species intelligence operation running in your yard right now. But the chickadee's call is only the beginning, because what happens next is where this system reveals its true scale. Eavesdropping on alarm calls from other species provides valuable survival information, and research has confirmed that birds are consistently stimulated to alarm by hearing other species alarm rather than going silent. When one bird calls, others join. The signal spreads. When the blue jay in your oak tree screams, it is not talking to other blue jays. The cardinals hear it. The sparrows respond. The wrens, the robins, the doves, the woodpeckers. Every species capable of responding adjusts their behavior based on a call from a completely different species. And then those birds call. And their calls trigger responses in the next yard. And those birds call. Within 90 seconds of a single hawk appearing 3 blocks away, a warning has radiated across an area the size of a city block. Carried by different species, in different calls, understood across species lines, without a single bird having to see the original threat themselves. Your yard is not an isolated patch of green. It is one node in a continuous, self-maintaining, multi-species warning grid that covers your entire neighborhood. Every yard connected to the next. Every bird in the network, both receiver and broadcaster, simultaneously. The security system isn't just around your house. It covers the whole street. And it was never installed by anyone. Here is something that most people never realize. Different threats produce completely different responses. The system is not binary. It has layers. A hawk overhead does not produce the same call as a cat in the hedge. A snake in the garden does not produce the same call as a raccoon at the fence. Each species in your yard maintains a specialized vocabulary for what type of threat, where it is, and how dangerous it is right now. Robins give a distinct mobbing call when they spot a cat in dense cover, structurally different from the call they give for an aerial predator. Wrens use a specific low-frequency rapid scolding pattern for ground-level threats close to cover. A chickadee calling from a low branch is reporting something on the ground. A blue jay screaming from a high-exposed perch is reporting something in the air. If you know the vocabulary, you can read it. The next time your yard erupts into alarm and you have no idea why, the birds are telling you exactly what they found and where. You just haven't learned the language yet. But the other birds have, and they are responding to it in real time, with behavior calibrated to exactly the threat level the call describes. The security system is only one part of what these birds are providing, because while they're running the warning network, they're also working your yard in ways most homeowners have never added up. A single black-capped chickadee consumes between 35 and 100 small invertebrates per hour during peak feeding season. A single brood of Carolina wrens removes an estimated 5,000 to 10,000 insects from your property in the weeks between hatching and fledgling. Bluebirds eat tick larvae. Tree swallows and purple martins target mosquitoes at dusk, exactly when mosquitoes target you. Wrens eat the spiders that would build webs across your porch overnight. Research by Dr. Doug Tallamy at the University of Delaware found that one breeding pair of Carolina chickadees needs between 6,000 and 9,000 caterpillars to raise a single clutch from hatching to fledgling. If chickadees are nesting in your yard, your trees are being relieved of 9,000 caterpillars that would otherwise be defoliating them right now, without you doing anything. You are not paying any of these workers. You never hired them. They are performing this service because their ecological niche overlaps completely with yours. And they have been doing it since long before your house was built. And then there is the patrol. Territorial birds, mockingbirds, blue jays, kingbirds, cardinals don't just occupy your yard. They actively defend it. And the perimeter they defend overlaps directly with yours. A single mockingbird pair has been documented maintaining an active defense zone of 50 to 70 feet from their nest, harassing and chasing larger birds, snakes, cats, and even small mammals that enter that perimeter. The mockingbird doesn't know it's protecting your garden. It's protecting its territory. But the effect on your yard is identical to having a small, fast, intensely committed security guard on permanent patrol. Blue jays do something even more aggressive. When a Cooper's hawk or sharp-shinned hawk lands in your yard, blue jays recruit. They call other corvids. They recruit small passerines, and then they mob, diving, screaming, physically harassing the predator until it leaves. Researchers at the Smithsonian Migratory Bird Center documented mobbing events that drove raptors out of suburban yards within 4 to 7 minutes of arrival. The hawk that would have spent 30 minutes hunting the small birds at your feeder is gone in under 10 because one blue jay made its presence intolerable. You didn't call anyone. You didn't do anything. The system handled it. So here's the full picture of what is actually happening in your yard. At 5 in the morning, before you wake up, the network runs a perimeter check and files overnight reports. Through the day, a multi-species intelligence system tracks every threat that enters your property, categorizing it, encoding it, and broadcasting it across the neighborhood in under 90 seconds. Unpaid pest workers remove thousands of insects from your trees and garden every single week. And a rotating patrol of territorial birds actively pushes predators and intruders out of the space you share with them. You did not build any of this. You did not pay for any of this. You cannot turn it off, and you would not want to. The birds in your yard are not visitors. They are not decoration. They are a working, coordinated, documented community running a system of protection and maintenance around your home that no human technology has ever fully replicated. They do not know they are protecting you. They are protecting themselves. But the side effect of their cooperation, their alarm calls, their patrols, their pest control, their seed dispersal, is that your yard is safer, healthier, and more alive than it would ever be without them. Step outside tomorrow morning. Listen differently. The first chickadee call you hear is not a bird singing. It is a report, filed on your behalf by a creature that never asked for anything in return. If this changed how you hear your yard, subscribe right now, because this is exactly what this channel does every single week. And I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever seen the birds in your yard alarm at something you couldn't see? What happened next? I read every single one. Share this with someone who has a feeder, because after this video, they will never hear their yard as just background noise again.